And we're back. So yeah, I'm just going to log in and we're just going to do some very basic stuff for this video. And I'm going to explain why as soon as everything's loaded up. Ooh. Okay, so this video is going to be super basic because I fully expect there's probably been a few people that may have seen the last video, maybe looked at the length of it and thought, oh my god, it's 30 something minutes long, I don't have time for that. All I want to do, I've just made my account and all I want to do is just start making money. So, okay, I'm going to do this. So we've got our character that we've made, we've docked up in the system that we're in, and we're going to open up the fitting. This is the fitting button, so fitting. And you'll notice that we don't have any, this here is a gun, this is a veil gun, this here is a afterburner, but we don't have any mining equipment. So, you got two choices. You can either go to the market rather. I think I'm getting tired. I'm going to type in miner, and then we're going to go over to here and have a look at miner 1. And we'll notice that the system that I'm in, I'm going to make it in order. So we do have 15,000 ISK, but we have to go 2 jumps to go and pick these ones up, or 3 jumps here to go and get this spawn, or 5 jumps, you know, so we have to move places to do that. But if you just want a free miner, really simple, really easy. All you have to do is right click your ship here, leave ship, I'll wait till it loads up, just give it a moment, and you'll be in your pod, open up the inventory. And this is where it gets a little bit crazy and people think, oh my god, what are you doing? If you right click this ship and then just trash, boom, gone. You don't have a ship anymore. And you're probably thinking, especially if you're a new player, what on earth do I do now? Go to this button here, board my Corvette, and you will get a brand new ship. And you're probably wondering why. Now I'll show you. So if you go to fitting, you'll notice, oh my god, there's now a civilian miner that comes with this. So because you can fit 2 turret hardpoints, and you'll notice when I take this off, this module, 1 turret hardpoint becomes free. And if we take off this module as well, there's now 2. So the thing is, can we add 2 civilian miners? And yes, you can. So what we're going to do is, we don't need this, so we're going to trash that. We're going to close this down again, and we're going to leave ship again, one more time. And of course, for all of the advanced people who are watching this, this is only for the new people. But we're gonna trash that ship all over again. We're just gonna get rid of it, and then we're gonna board another Corvette, brand new one altogether. And then once we're in it, we're gonna go back to fitting. We're gonna take off that gun because we don't need it. We're gonna go back to the item hanger, and then we're gonna drag this over onto there. And then now we've got 2 miners. Boom, nice. We're gonna trash this gun because we don't need it. It's absolutely worthless. And now we're going to press this button. This button's very important. I will cover this again on the next episode. But essentially, when you press this button, you are consenting to non-consensual PvP, i.e. someone can shoot you at any time if their safety is off. So remember that, and we will cover that a little bit later with ganking. So we're just going to undock, and we're going to go and find a random asteroid belt field to go and mine. Now, there's, especially in rookie systems, which is one of the systems which we're currently in Duopan, there are, if you right click in space anywhere, if you right click on the structure or any items, you will have different amount of options that pop up. So make sure that you don't have your mouse hovering either over any sort of items, like these items here, this item, or even just the model of things altogether, like this. But what is a little bit different is if you were to right click on the model of a moon or a planet or a star, the options to warp to it or anything like that, they do not show up. They are the same options as if you were to right click in space. So you'll notice they are the same options entirely, which is very nice. But if you were to right click on the model of the station, for example, you will get these options rather than those options. So that's something to keep in mind. So we're going to right click and we're going to go to these asteroid belts. You'll notice that there's 4. 99% of the time, though, these asteroid belts will be mined bare, but we're going to go and have a look because the server has a downtime period at 11 o'clock Eve time every day. Sometimes it's a bit longer, depending on if there's been an update or any sort of maintenance. But most of the time, it's at 11 o'clock, and it usually lasts between 5 and 10 minutes, and then the server comes back online. But when that happens, most of the asteroid belts in the game are respawned. I think they respawn every single time now. I'm not 100% sure. But let's have a look. So yeah, these ones are all here, which is excellent. So on the overview, the overview's got a number of tabs, and the default one, mining, is here, and it will actually show you all of these. It does actually give you the asteroid belt itself here, but I don't like to do that, so we're just going to remove asteroid belt from the overview entirely. And you can see all of these asteroids here. Now, this is something very important, because if you start the game and it's not just after downtime, because it's now 52 minutes since downtime happened and the server came back online, you will actually, there's a very good chance that when you right click in space and go to any one of the asteroid belts that's in your system, there won't be any asteroids there, and you're probably thinking, oh my god, there's no asteroids. So if you go to your scanners, and if you go to your probe scanner, you will find asteroid belt. Let's open that up. Asteroid belt remnants, asteroid belt remnants, asteroid belt remnants, and you've got warp 2 buttons for all of them. These ones here, let's open this up a bit more so you can see. These ones here are combat sites, so I wouldn't recommend going to those because you will be going into a combat situation. But these ore sites, you can go to them. And when one of these is gone, let's say all of the asteroids have been mined out, another one will instantly respawn in this system because it's a rookie system. And essentially, the game developers made it recently. This is actually maybe about a year, maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, not very long ago. The game developers decided that it was probably a very good idea to have asteroid belts that respawn continuously in rookie systems for rookies that just don't know how to find new asteroid belts when there's none left. When I first started playing, we certainly didn't have that, so I think that's a very good addition to the game. So what we're going to do is we're not going to warp over to those because there's literally no point. We've got asteroids here, so we're just going to go, we're going to have this in order of distance. I'm going to go to the nearest one, and you'll find typically 2 variations of asteroid inside an 0.1 security status system, and that will be Veldspar and Scordite. Let's go to a Scordite, because right now Scordite is doing extremely well on the market for a number of reasons. We've activated our afterburner, which pushes our ship from a normal 350 meters per second up to 542 meters per second, and this ship is capacitor stable, and that essentially means that we can run all of our modules at the same time, and this capacitor will not run dry, and we will not run out of energy. The range on these, if you hover your mouse over it, is 10 kilometers, and we can start locking these now. So you can lock things by going to the overview over here, right clicking, and then lock target. You can zoom in, go to the item that you're interested in, lock target. You can just right click and lock target, or you can do what I like to do and hold down control, and then you can click the left mouse button rather than the right mouse button, which brings up the what's it called, the option menu here. But if you hold down control and then just click with the left mouse button, then you can lock straight away. Really, really nice. Now you've got 2 options. You can activate these manually by pressing them, 1 and 2, or, and I'm just going to show you now, you can press it by F1 and F2. Ba-boom. See, I've just done that really quickly. And you'll notice we've just picked up some ore right now. So the reason why that's F1 and F2 is because, let's move this down here, you will see that this is F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8. So we could put that at F4, for example, and F5. And now if I press F1 and F2 again, there's that noise that basically says there isn't anything on that hotkey. But if we now set F4 and F5, they work again. So let's just move those back to F1 and F2 because that's the normal setting that the large majority of people have. And this is it. This is us mining. So this is a cycle. One cycle will basically be this thing going around. So this is the cycling of the afterburner. This is the cycling of the mining laser. And it's currently mining the ore. So all you have to do is just sit here and wait for the ore or hole to fill up. So we'll just take a bit of a chill and we'll just let this carry on mining. And there we have it. Our ore hold is full with 900 units of condensed scordite. And we're just going to zoom out a little bit. And we're just going to right click in space. And we're going to go down to stations. Going to go over to the station and dock. Actually, just before we do that, I'm going to stop my ship very quickly. I want to show you something. Now, when we warped over to this asteroid belt, we warped to this celestial point over here, which is 24 kilometers away. And you'll notice, as we pointed out earlier, that these miners that we've got, I've only got an optimal range of 10 kilometers, which means anything from 10 kilometers and down, it can shoot at. So if we warped back to this asteroid belt again at this, we would have to manually fly over to this asteroid. Let's make things a little bit easier here, and we're just going to right click this asteroid. I'm going to save the location. Now you've got a number of options here. We're just going to call it Scordite because there's no need for us to call it anything else. But you got expire never, in 2 days or in 3 hours. We're just going to leave it as never at the moment. And when you've made that bookmark, because that is what a bookmark is, and if you want to make a manual bookmark without having to right click on an object, you can press Control and B, and that will give you a spot in the Durapant solar system, and that bookmark will actually appear here. And I'm just going to show you what happens if I press that now, and then we're going to go down to the sensor overlay, and we're going to turn on this little button here that we turned off earlier. You'll actually notice that the bookmarks come up, which is excellent. So I made one first, which was when I right clicked the Scordite here. I put this Scordite and I saved the location of it, and this bookmark popped up, and then I pressed Control and B, and that bookmark came up there. So you can actually create bookmarks anywhere, and I'll show you what a bookmark does in a minute. So I'm just going to double click in space and just move my ship down a little bit, move myself away from the bookmark that I've just made, which is here, and I'm going to press Control and B again and make another bookmark. And that bookmark appears here now. So I've now got 2 bookmarks that I've made independent of anything else. The bookmarks are made when I press Control and B, and the bookmarks are made right on top of my ship. I have no actual use for these bookmarks, so I'm just going to right click them in space and remove the locations. But we are going to keep the one for the Scordite, and I'll show you why that one's very important in a minute. So we're just going to right click. We're going to go to your bookmarks, by the way. Right click in space, go to locations, and the bookmarks are kept here. There's a few other options to go into bookmarks, but we will cover that in a future video. But for now, we're just going to right click in space. We're going to go down to stations, right, go over here, and then we're going to dock up.
Warp drive
Let's go.
active.
Am I going to bump off? Oh no, I'm nowhere near that asteroid. That's fine. Good. Whoosh. Let's go. It's probably going to be a few people making comments on why my graphics are so low. The main reason is because I prefer performance over visual effects, and that's just my own personal take on it. But you know, if you guys want to, you can turn everything down. I have my LOD quality on high, and there's a reason for that. But the rest of it, I have it on as efficient as possible, essentially. Just going to get rid of these as well because I don't really want to see these. They just clog up the overview. So I'm just going to right click these cargo containers and remove those, and remove the mobile
Docking
depots
permission
as well.
requested.
It's a bit better.
Docking request accepted.
Alright, so we're just going to dock up very quickly, and this is the easiest way to make your first money in the game, because a lot of people, they kind of come in and they start doing missions, or they start doing the tutorial stuff, and you can do that, that's absolutely fine, you know. But if you want to be very independent straight away, because that's what I was like when I first started, you can just find some asteroid like this, right click, sell, and you'll come up with this option, which is immediate. And you'll notice that the estimated price here is actually 17.4 thousand ISK price, but there's actually, Scordite is doing very well at the moment for a number of reasons, and people are paying very high prices for Scordite at the moment, so you can sell that instantly. Let's just get rid of that, boom, and you'll see our money's just gone up. So we've essentially we've went from 15,000 to now just over 30,000. We've basically doubled our money with a few minutes work. So yeah, that is essentially the most basic form of mining. So if anybody has skipped the last video, I recommend you to go back and have a look when you get the time to. But if you wanted to just jump into the game and just start making money straight away, that's how you would do it. It's like the simplest, most easiest way to just grab some cash really fast. It's going to take you a while to get to any sort of significant amount of money, but for those who are brand new to the game and they just want to like check things out, this is how you do it. So now that we've undocked again, I'm just going to right click in space, and this time instead of warp into the asteroid belt directly, we're going to go down to location. So we're going to warp to the Scordite bookmark that we made just a moment ago.
Warp drive active.
Here we go. Gonna jump into warp. You'll notice you go to warp at 75% of your speed, which is very, very interesting, and we'll come to that again later. It's another interesting mechanic, something to remember long term. And you'll see as well that our bookmark is here, and it is on our sensor overlay. So if we turn that off, it disappears from the top of the sensor overlay and turns back on again. Just turn it off and turn it back on. And you can see how that could be toggled on and off. So as we warp over, instead of warping over to this celestial here, we've now warped directly or very close to our scordite. Typically it will warp you anywhere between 2.5 and 2.6 kilometers from your target. And once you're here, you can just start all over again. It's the same asteroid that we were just mining. And you just press F1, F2 again, and away we go. We're doing this all over again, and that's it. And you just repeat the process. We're not going to do it again, though, because I don't have time for that. We are just going to dock up now, and that will be the end of this video. There will be another video on mining in the future, which will cover more advanced. It's still very, very basic compared to you know, a lot of people who've done mining before and they know what they're doing. They've been playing the game for a while. But I'm going to start off with a ship called the Adventure. We saw it on the last video. Another player was flying it, but it is called the Venture. Let's have a look at what that is. Here we are. This is Adventure. This is what it looks like. And we will go through that very soon on another video, probably about 2 or 3 videos from now, so keep an eye out for that video. So yeah, it's a very, very basic ship. It's a really good ship actually for a number of reasons, but we will cover that on that video and I will go through everything.
Docking permission requested.
Ooh. So you'll notice actually this is a really good important. Have a look at how far away we are. And a lot of NPC
Docking
stations sometimes
accepted.
drop you further away for some reason. Sometimes you're right on top, sometimes you're not. But you need to be less than 500 meters to be able to dock within the station. So, and sometimes that can be a problem, especially if you're in a very large ship that's very slow. And if you're in scary space and someone might shoot you. So, let's be careful with that. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Thank you very much. See you soon.